5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Honorable members of the court, the matter before this bench concerns a petition that raises important questions of law and procedure. The petitioner, through learned counsel, has submitted that the actions of the respondent authority are arbitrary and without jurisdiction. It is further stated that the impugned order was passed without granting an adequate opportunity of being heard, which amounts to a violation of the principles of natural justice. The counsel has drawn attention to the fact that no proper notice was issued and no personal hearing was provided, thereby prejudicing the rights of the petitioner. It is argued that administrative authorities must act in accordance with law and within the framework prescribed by relevant rules. It has been submitted that where discretion is granted to an authority, such discretion must be exercised reasonably, fairly, and without bias. The absence of recorded reasons in the order under challenge also indicates a non-application of mind, and therefore, the order cannot be sustained in the eyes of law. The respondent side, on the other hand, has opposed the contentions raised and has stated that the petitioner was well aware of the proceedings. According to the respondent, all necessary documents were served and sufficient time was given to respond. It has been argued that the petitioner is seeking to delay the proceedings by raising technical objections at this stage. The respondent has relied upon certain judicial pronouncements to demonstrate that minor procedural irregularities do not necessarily vitiate the entire process, particularly when substantial compliance with the law has been achieved. Having considered the submissions advanced on behalf of both parties, this court is of the view that certain fundamental aspects require closer examination. The right to a fair hearing is an essential component of justice. When any authority exercises a quasi-judicial function, it is incumbent upon such authority to ensure that the affected party is given an opportunity to present their case. The principles of natural justice are not mere formalities, but are foundational to the rule of law. The court is also mindful of the need to balance procedural fairness with administrative efficiency. While it is true that not every irregularity will lead to the setting aside of an order, the court must be satisfied that the decision was taken objectively and not in a mechanical manner. In the present case, the absence of a speaking order raises concerns about whether due diligence was followed. A reasoned order enables both the parties and the appellate authorities to understand the basis on which conclusions have been drawn. It is also settled law that the exercise of discretionary powers must be transparent and justifiable. Discretion cannot be exercised based on personal opinions or extraneous considerations. The rule of law demands that every decision affecting rights or liabilities must be informed by reasons that are rational and legally tenable. In the absence of such reasoning, the order becomes susceptible to challenge and may be set aside. The petitioner has also pointed out that certain documents, which formed the basis of the order, were neither supplied nor made available during the proceedings. Denial of access to such material is in direct contradiction to the principle that no one shall be condemned without a fair opportunity to respond. The court takes serious note of this omission, which undermines the credibility of the procedure followed. It is not the function of this court to interfere in administrative matters unnecessarily. However, where procedural lapses lead to injustice or arbitrariness, the court cannot remain a silent spectator. The object of judicial review is not to substitute the decision of the authority with that of the court, but to ensure that the decision-making process is lawful, reasonable, and transparent. In light of the above considerations, and having regard to the facts and circumstances of the case, this court is inclined to set aside the impugned order. The matter is remanded to the competent authority for fresh consideration in accordance with law. It is directed that a fresh hearing be afforded to the petitioner and a reasoned order be passed within a specified time frame. All contentions of both parties are left open, and nothing stated in this order shall be construed as an expression of opinion on the merits of the case. Before parting with this matter, the court wishes to reiterate that authorities exercising statutory power must be cautious and circumspect in discharging their duties. Legal procedures are not empty rituals, but are safeguards against arbitrary action. Every authority must be mindful of the impact their decisions have on individuals and must act with fairness and integrity. The registry is directed to communicate this order to the concerned authority without delay. Compliance shall be ensured within the stipulated time. No costs. In addition, this court finds it necessary to highlight certain systemic concerns that have been observed during the course of proceedings. Repeated lapses in procedural compliance point to a need for better training and awareness among decision-making authorities. An effective mechanism must be introduced to ensure that all officers entrusted with quasi-judicial functions are adequately familiar with the fundamental principles governing natural justice and administrative law. Mere adherence to form without an understanding of substance cannot be permitted to dictate the fate of individuals who are affected by such decisions. Further, it is observed that timely delivery of documents and fair access to case records remain critical issues. The administration must evolve a uniform protocol for ensuring that all affected persons receive every relevant communication in a timely and traceable manner. This will not only reduce avoidable litigation, but also promote greater trust in the system. It is the duty of every authority to uphold the values enshrined in the Constitution and operate within the bounds of reason and fairness. Lack of transparency, delays in adjudication, and failure to issue reasoned orders are not merely technical defects but undermine the confidence of the public in the justice delivery system. Greater accountability must be enforced through structured feedback and internal audits. Stop.